You know, from when I was a young boy all the way to pastoring Higher Vision Church, one consistent thing has always been a part of kind of my spiritual journey, and that is prophetic words would come from pastors, leaders, and it was always a prophetic word about worship. You know, David had a heart after the heart of God, and I've always wanted to be like David, someone who pursued God passionately. David was a songwriter, he was a musician, and I'm a songwriter, I'm a musician, so I've always identified with him. As God's spoken over my life, He's always said throughout the years that He was going to use worship, the worship mantle that He's placed on my life, to touch the nations. And you know, over the years that's taken place. Amos 9:11 has been kind of the theme of my life until I became the lead pastor at Higher Vision. Amos 9:11, 9:11 says that God's going to rebuild a tabernacle of worship, a place of authentic, passionate worship. And after that, there's going to be a massive harvest, a revival that takes place. I'll never forget one day I was running, and I kind of felt as the pastor at Higher Vision that my worship calling had come to a dead end. And as I was running and praying, God began to speak to me, and I saw this vision. And the vision was of the opening of the show on TBN called Praise the Lord from several years ago. And it showed this light beam leaving Southern California and going to other continents and lighting them up. And the Lord began to speak to me and say, Jared, Higher Vision has a calling. That worship mantle that's been a part of your life is part of the calling of Higher Vision Church, to take worship to the nations. And I began to see that. And you know, we have had a heart to record, we've had a heart to write songs, and you know what's exciting about this new album, For Your Kingdom, is God is renewing that vision, that call to go to the nations, to rebuild a place of worship. And I believe that it's going to trigger harvest around the world. So, you know, as we start this week with For Your Kingdom, as this new album goes out, and God now has His hand on Sean and Macy and April and our team, God is multiplying the call, He's multiplying the vision. And what's exciting for me is to see what God said to me as a young boy. Now He's starting to fulfill those dreams. And I think this is just the beginning of something great. God, this whole album, it's really all for your kingdom.